Tim. Tim's got his hand up. Beautifully finished.
Beautiful. Swan-like.
That song, that is a 12 string, isn't it? Did they use a 12 string on that?
I think they did, yeah. It's
Not
a
that it
very
was
unique
played
sound,
well.
isn't it, the old 12 string? It's got a, you know, it's not overused a lot.
For songs, big songs, it's unmistakable.
I know.
And it's like you can't play those songs unless you've got a 12 string.
Yeah.
Like that, Wish You Were Here,
Yeah.
Hotel California.
Yeah.
What are we doing today, Dee?
Well, today, Chris and Tim, we are discussing 6 strings and 8 strings and 12 strings.
And like, why?
And why? And the 12 is, as you say, not a standard guitar that most people would be using, but a very unique sound, isn't it? It's really interesting.
For those things, some people love them.
Yeah.
And 12 strings seem to come back from our perspective, like they seem to peak and trough, you know, like recently, the last sort of 2 or 3 years, I guess, we seem to be selling more. I don't know why. It's obviously some trend or something happening, but...
That's a cool looking thing though, isn't it? It's got like
with the black...
all the matte.
Yeah, it's gloss on the top, matte on the backs and sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on an 80-60, so it's solid Sitka. But I've never owned a 12 string, have you?
I've never owned a 12 string, have you?
I'm about to buy one, electric,
Right.
for a job, but I've never...
Will it be a Rick?
No, I don't think so. They're very expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
But so I'm about to buy my first 12 string. I've played a lot of 12 strings here.
What will that be?
Yes.
I'll go and have a look. I know Gretsch have just brought one out, like
Right.
Electromatic or something like that.
That's
The
nice.
Duesenberg do a 12.
Duesenberg do a 12, but again, it's expensive.
They're nice, though, aren't they?
They are nice.
They're pretty stylish, aren't they?
They're very
They're
stylish.
pretty cool looking guitars.
It's a doozy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this though. This is cool.
This is cool.
The 8 is interesting.
So obviously we're 6 string, general guitar, then 8 string. So what we do, like our baritone, like other baritones, but we decided to make a standard grand auditorium size and shape into an 8 string. So we double up on the D and the G with octaves. Just play like an open G or Do. So you do get quite a lot of chorus, shimmer from that. I mean, obviously not as much as that.
It's
That's
like
nice, isn't it? In fact, I like the gaps in it, actually.
So yeah, when I was playing it before, it makes you kind of play.
Guitar makes you play that.
This is true.
6 string, 12 string.
Yeah.
Baritone, bass. You play that on bass?
It's just my style, man. I just got that.
It's your signature.
I've
It's
got
your
the country
signature riff.
blues. What can I tell you?
yeah.
Benefits thereof of an 8 string. So the benefits of a 12 string, we do first. Obviously, stacks of shimmer, iconic sound. You do loads of stuff with it, and I think if you you know, especially on hammer-ons and hammer-offs, and that, you get that real sort of octavey thing going on. It's really nice. Downsides to a 12 string.
Fingers.
It hurts. It hurts a lot.
You're gonna have to play. If you play it for a long time, you've got to really strengthen those. You can get your what's it called?
Your little Dario.
Oh, the Dario
hand exerciser.
car driving the car.
When you're driving the
exercise
car,
hand.
build those finger muscles and stuff.
That's the one.
The neck is wider. There's 12 strings on here, so there's lots of tension on the guitar. To fit them all on, you've got to make the nut wider. So, you know, it is for fretting, is a little bit more strenuous. Try and get the action down. If you do own a 12 string, that will help. But the other thing is tuning. Is a 12 string ever in tune?
It can get there. And the other thing, I'll tell you what I've had to do before we've done a product demo on one before, is change a full set of strings on a 12 string.
String changes. So if you're committed to the 12 string, which many people are, hat off to you. Like it's quite commendable because harder to play, more tension, wide neck, staying in tune, and changing the strings.
So we've got the E and the B are basically just the same. Yeah. The other strings are all octaves. Right. And it's the same with this. Yeah. We're using the same gauge strings on the G and the D.
So benefits of this is you do get a surprising amount of shimmer and chorus from. So we just octave the D and the G. So it's an 8 string, 2 center strings are. And it's nice this because you've got 4 tuners on each side, so it's very balanced. But it's a standard nut width. there's not a lot of extra tension on the guitar because there's only 2 narrow plain steel strings on there.
Yeah.
And so the tension is not raised hardly, but you get, it's quite different. You do get a shimmer. When you're noodling about with this, you do start to go into those octave strings just to get that, you know, that that octave kind of effect. And I'm sure that after a while that you could find some nice sort of personal tricks on it, where you can, all that sort of stuff. So that's why it exists.
It's a good balance if you are in a band as well.
Do you have an 8-string?
No, I don't.
Oh, your baritones are...
My baritone's normal, just a normal baritone. But what I'm thinking is if you're in a band situation, you need that kind of chorus and sound, but you don't want to whack away at a 12-string.
Yeah.
Then that's a good in between of these, between these two.
I think
if
it
you
makes
by
a lot
yourself,
of sense, doesn't it? Because it's those the middle part of the kind of chord that you want to be able to strengthen, you know.
So people added them to baritones because obviously a darker sound. It's a bassy sound to a baritone, lower.
Yeah.
You add a couple of octaves, it just gives it a bit of sparkle in the top end. And actually, I don't know if anybody makes an 8-string standard guitar. Our colleague in the States, Jay, said when we came out with the baritone, he said, "Why don't we join another one?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" And they're doing very well. So a little bit different. Do you just want to demonstrate your lick again? Where you can... Sounds really nice, man. It sounds great.
We are having a bit of an effective, a brand new guitar, 12 or 8-string, because you've got to tune them forever because it's gone slightly out. But I mean, that does add to it for some people.
But you can hear the octaves there, and it doesn't sound like a 12-string. Obviously, it's not a 6, but it's like, it just, I don't know, it sounds really folky to me, you know, like when you add those octaves, those high notes, you're starting to get the mandolin kind of
That's
territory.
what it kind of, that lends itself to that kind of thing, doesn't it? I've got a technical question for you about those.
Yeah.
Is the bracing different inside?
The bracing is heavier. So on this, we don't use FS6, we use FST2.
Right.
And we just beef it up with an extra sort of finger brace on the side.
Because there's going to be a lot of tension.
A lot of tension. So there's the top is very stiff. You know, the construction's quite solid. But you know, it still sings. But the sort of response that you want from the 12 string, you do want that structure in there, and you do want that sort of sustain, if you like, and all that, rather than it being underbuilt. Plus, risking trying to underbuild a 12 string, which we wouldn't do. What's it going to be like after 2 years? You know, if you try and just make it as responsive as possible. Yeah. So no, good question. Yeah, it is a heavier construction now, 6 strings.
Still sounds good though.
It sounds good.
Is it just me? It's probably not, but is that a slightly larger dread, or is it the same size as a normal dread?
It's the same size.
Why does it look bigger?
Maybe because the neck's wider. Maybe with my blue coat, the black is just
offsetting against
the mat against the thing. Anyway, 8-string, 12-string, 6-string. Have a play around, see what you like, but certainly they all have their place. We think anyway.
Marvelous.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys.